Hello there from Blackpool Pleasure Beach Resort in June 2025. This is definitely not the fourth take at doing this intro today.
No.
So here we are at Blackpool in the rain. We've already had summer this year. It came for about 2 weeks around Easter time. Steve, you've not been to Pleasure Beach for ages.
Last time I was near our hypercoaster, we had an interesting trip to see the point, didn't we?
Yeah.
But it wasn't. The rain and weather here is a million times better than what we had at Cedar Point. I can give you that. So yeah, it was a bit of a. It wasn't a failed trip, but it was an adventure, wasn't it?
It was a fail. And here we are again by an Arrow hypercoaster, and it's raining and windy once again. But hopefully the big one will open for a bit of the day. The weather does not look favourable for a whole day of the big one being open, but we'll see how that goes. But it's just good to be back. This is going to be my last time here now for probably about 5 or 6 weeks. So it is really good to be back today. Make the most of it while we can. I know, sorry mate.
6 weeks away?
I know, got a big trip coming up, and then got a big America trip coming, and there's going to be loads of content from that coming. So I'll have a bit of a break from Blackpool.
I look forward to it.
It won't happen. The Blackpool break won't happen. So what's the plan today, mate?
Let's just see how the day goes. So I've not actually seen Launchpad with people running yet, so I'm quite interested to see that and maybe have a go.
Yeah.
I don't know if I am going to do it or not, but we'll judge it. Hopefully we do. And yeah, I just want to go on a hypercoaster.
Yeah.
Like, really badly. It's been over a month since I've been on one, so.
Yeah, well, it was that one, wasn't it?
It's this one.
Yeah.
It was running really well.
Yeah, it was.
Right. So hopefully, well, I don't think it's going to be as good today as it was, because the sunshine is not here, and obviously the weather's not great. So
yeah, well, this is the thing. Today it's forecast to be like a westerly wind, which is a particularly ill wind for the big one, as we once found out in the Pleasure Beach series. But yeah, the westerly wind is the worst one for the big one in terms of it having to close. We've not actually seen it testing yet, but we have been told it has been tested, and I think the big one music's just come on. Yeah. So the reason we are starting down at the big one today is purely because the weather forecast just gets worse as the day goes on. So. Yeah. Hopefully we can get on it early, and then we'll just see where the day takes us from there. But we believe Avalanche is on 2 trains, so we might have to do that.
We have to go and have a look at that. We were actually, originally the plan today was not actually to be here, was it?
No, it wasn't.
We were going to go to Fort Park.
Yes.
But the weather down there is worse than it is here, so we decided, you know what, we'll save Fort Park for another day, because I'm a jinx with Fort Park, so if there's a chance of stuff being closed due to weather, it would happen to me. So rather than waste a day, probably make a great video though.
Yeah, probably.
Going around and me ranting. Shut. If it's to the weather, it's got to close. So we've decided to knock that on the head and just come Pleasure Beach and play it safe today. But it's actually, Pleasure Beach has the best weather of all the parks today for some reason.
Strange.
I went up to the weather forecast, so I was like, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we might well come back to Steeplechase around 12 o'clock, because Steeplechase is currently on a 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. schedule. The park is open 10 to 5 today. Valhalla's still on its 2 to 5 schedule. I don't know if we'll do that, we'll decide later. But big one is due to open at 10:30, so that is why we're starting there. And normally, if we were going to do try and do all the coasters, we'd say start with like Nickelodeon Street, then Avalanche, and then work your way around to this point of the park. I have done a whole video on that. I'll put a link to it in the top of the screen. But for now, because of the weather, because of the circumstances, big one in the weather, you never know, so we're just going to start there, and then hopefully soon I'll be able to show you some shots of it running and then talk about how it was. So let's go. That was the big one twice, Steve.
The first lap, as we had the wet weather tyres on, didn't we? It was a little bit wet. We were going to go for a second go, but as we were walking down the exit ramp, the heavens opened. So whoever was on the second go of the big one today, hats off to you. I wouldn't have wanted to be on it.
I'm just going to pause you right there, and I'm going to show a shot of just how bad that weather was. And a poor man called Stephen stood at the entrance sheltering. Here it is.
Let's a good place to stand. I was dry. But we went on the third run. Sorry, was it the fourth run of the day because we missed.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Didn't we? So we went on the fourth go. There was hardly any rain on that fourth go, so it was good. It's running average today.
Yeah.
It's not brilliant. It's not terrible. It's very much in the middle of where it runs. So an average run on it today. We have been quite lucky with a big one as of late. We're getting it on intense speed.
Yeah.
It's flying around super quick and borderline, overspeed territory. But I really enjoyed that. It's nice to get back on it. Nice to get on an hour hypercoaster at last.
Yeah, we're still a little bit salty about our trip to Cedar Point.
It's footage of the weather there.
No. It just gives me PTSD. That does.
It's a long way to go to not get
literally
rides,
travelled for the day from Orlando to Cedar Point to go and do literally like 3 coasters because everything else was shut because of the rain and wind.
We got Maverick.
Well, yeah, that was good.
Steel Vengeance, Corkscrew, and
Blue Streak.
Blue Streak, that's the one. Yeah.
Anyway, back to Pleasure Beach. So fair play to Pleasure Beach. You've got a big one open. That second go on it was notably windier. Like, it was literally like slower going round. The thing with the big one is it really is impacted by the weather. Like, for example, when you come here and there's no wind, it will run really well, but you'll feel every imperfection on it. If you go on it on a day like today, it doesn't run quite as fast and it feels a little bit smoother. It's just weird, but it's like, obviously when it's a lot windier and the wind's coming from the west, it really does slow it down on the return leg, and it's just obviously not as good because you don't get it at full speed. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you build a coaster by the Irish Sea. But it is what it is. Where are we going next? Should we go and do Launchpad? I know it's at the other end of the park, but we should go and do it because you've not done it.
Well, maybe if we pass something on the way, we'll just take it as it comes, eh?
Yeah, sound.
Steady and see where we end up.
And I don't know if he'll be happy when we're doing it, but I'm going to give a shout out to this guy because he's stood here in the crap weather waiting for people to come and play his game. So make sure you do the HB.
Stand by. Countdown commencing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Listen to the noise.
How was your first go on Launchpad?
It's good.
It's good.
It's now. I feel like it's not as good as the OG still, but it's a lot better than it was. Considerably better than it was. So
Yeah.
it's got a thumbs up from Steve.
What do you think of like the countdown and the smoke effects and the soundtrack?
The thing with this type of ride, it works all on pressures, and depending on how heavy the gondola is, it takes a different amount of time to like get ready. So sometimes it's got to go early if it gets to that target sooner. So it's really hard to do a precise countdown. So what you notice when you watch it, it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, it's off. And sometimes like with us, because I've got a few extra pounds, needs a bit more pressure in the shot tank there, and we went past the, one, and then we still sat there for a good 5 seconds.
I thought it was going to be like the Pleasure Beach series when Jeffrey Thompson's on it and it just doesn't launch.
Yeah, I thought that.
And he's there like, are we going yet? And then it just doesn't go. I thought that was going to happen. So, yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I said at the media day that it was brilliant, and I still think that now. So, yeah.
Well, it adds to the suspense, doesn't it? You don't know when it's going to go.
No, exactly.
Is it going to go on the exact moment or before or after? You don't know.
No, this is it. So, on our way to Launchpad, we did actually try and do Big Dipper, but it's not opening till 11:30. So we'll go back to that later on. I don't know where we're going now. Should we go and have a look at the Grand National situation?
Yeah, let's have a look. I'm looking forward to getting back on the Nash. It opens this month, apparently. So
it does. It's reopening in June, and it is June. So hopefully it'll be soon.
Yeah, I could do with a good shake about and waking up.
That's why we want to go on Big Dipper.
To be fair, yeah.
Yeah.
I very rarely suggest Big Dipper. I actually suggested it today. I was like, let's do Dipper. But 11:30, so we'll have a look later on.
Yeah.
I believe it's still on one train.
Yes, it is.
Which is a shame because that it does mean it's going to get a bit of a queue.
Yeah. Well, not today.
Well, hopefully not today, but
it will in the summer when it's busy. But hopefully by the summer it'll be on too.
Yeah.
But we'll head on over to the Nash and we'll see where they're up to with that. So we've taken a look at the Grand National. The 2 trains are in the station. I don't believe it's going to run on 4 trains this season. It didn't run on 4 last year. From what we can see, the seats have gone or are going back into the trains, especially the blue train. Pleasure Beach have said on socials it is going to open in June. Obviously, we're now in June. It's still early in June, so I guess it'll open soon. I'm going to go to you.
Last day of June. I hope not. I hope not. Sooner rather than later, I hope. It has been missed. I can't wait to get back on it. So yeah, it's nice to see some work going on it today. So
I'm going to go this way so you get the nice look at Valhalla and not the blue building. Valhalla, there you go, that's better.
Behind us.
Yeah.
Opens at 2 today.
Yeah.
And to be fair, on a day like today, it's not a pleasant day in Blackpool, so I think that's a fair opening time today.
I was going to ask you, what do you make of the 2 o'clock opening, Valhalla? I think
there are days where it should be longer. Like I know earlier when we had some good weather, was it last time?
Yeah.
And the queue was full, like as far as you could see. And
yeah.
you know, that's a day where it should have been open sooner. I think it's got to look at the weather forecast, but that makes it hard for staffing, because then you have to plan like, how many people we're going to need in to run this ride today. And last minute changes, the Blackpool weather can be unpredictable.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could say it's going to be nice sunshine, and then, you know, it comes around to the day and it's a washout, you know, and if you've opened it, you're kind of stuck with it open. So I think it is fair, but it should be regularly monitored.
Yeah. So, as we know, Pleasure Beach are now very data driven in their decision making, and I believe that that's probably a factor in Valhalla not opening until later in the day. But also costing comes into it, because obviously it is a very, very expensive ride to operate, and a lot more than, say, Derby Racer, Flying Machines, the Grand National, for example. So I'm going to throw it out there. Do you think it's got a secure future at Pleasure Beach? In terms of how long it'll be left here?
I thought it was toast years ago.
Yeah.
I was surprised it got refurbed.
Yeah.
I was surprised that a lot of the expensive effects remained.
Yeah, same.
That was the biggest shocking thing, is like, you know, a lot of the fire effects were still there. Like, and I was like, wow, I thought these would have been toast. Like, but just the amount of money it costs to run them. I don't think it would be the same ride without them though. So it's a catch-22, you've got to have it. I'd be sad to see it go. I think they did miss a trick. I think it probably, when it closed, I think that should be the end of Valhalla as a water ride, and bring in Valhalla as some of a dark ride experience or different ride system.
I'm going to give my thoughts on that actually. I think if they'd have closed it a year later and not as we were going into COVID, because obviously the announcement was made for Valhalla before everyone knew about COVID. If COVID had been known when they were making the decision, I don't think it would have got refurbed. I think it would have gone.
Yeah.
But I also, even though I'm well aware that they did a big refurb on it, but I do think they've got a massive dilemma with it, because obviously Pleasure Beach are trying to become more cost effective, are trying to become more sustainable. As a business, they are working towards being more efficient in many ways. It just made me wonder how long Valhalla's got left, and I am well aware it's had a massive refurb and a lot of money spent on it. I could completely understand from a business point of view if they pulled the plug on it, literally, and closed it forever. I don't think that's coming anytime like this year, but I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility for the next, say 5 years time.
Yeah, like when you look at, recently we went to Epic Universe and did a ride like Monsters Unchained. Steve, you can't compare that to Valhalla.
No, don't even go there.
I know I can't. But like, that's a ride where they've clearly thought about how much it's going to cost to run.
Yeah.
And they've used every effect to its maximum potential. And I think maybe that could be an option for it going forwards if it is about sustainability. Maybe changing some of the effects, go and have a look at what they've done out there and maybe see what they can port over here. Not say remove all the fire, but like add equivalent effects of just as good.
Yeah.
You know, they're just as good as the fire, but different. Like, it can be done. I don't want to see anything change. I like Valhalla the way it is, but do I want to see Valhalla in diet mode? Not really.
So with that said, are we going on it at 2 o'clock?
No. You condemned yourself to doing it all the time, every trip now with, well, when I'm not here anyway.
So the other day, I was here last week in a May term time, half term week, whatever you call it, with my son. He's not long turned 7, he's not long got to 130 centimetres, so he was like, hey Dad, I've got a great idea, let's go on Valhalla. And I was like, sure, yeah, let's do it. And yeah, he loved it. I thought it'd be a one and done, and now he's told me that every time that I bring him here, or every time that me and his mum bring him here, that we're all to go on it. Well done, Scott.
Every time?
Literally every time.
So in February.
Yeah. The thing is as well, like, he's literally told his school teacher about this. Like, when I picked him up from school the other day, his teacher was like, oh, I believe Charlie loved Valhalla. I'm like, oh, for goodness sake, everybody knows. So yeah, gonna be going on it a lot more. The funny thing is, it was one of those days where it was Diet Valhalla and not a lot worked in there. So, and he loved it. So next time he does it and everything's on, or more's on, he's gonna love it even more. Which is really not great for me, but yeah. So we're not doing it. At 5 o'clock.
I think the base says it all.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I don't know where we're going now. Where are we going? Where are we going?
Sorry, I'm going off shot then. I was carrying on.
You're off?
Off Derby Racers.
Is that where we're going next?
I don't know, it is undercover, so it might be a shout, but...
Derby Racer it is. Great call. We've been on Derby Racer. It was a little bit slow getting on. There was a bit of faff going on with ticket scanning, but I think the group in front of us had actually got non-rider tickets and they were trying to get on Derby Racer. I don't actually know if you can use those on Derby Racer. I don't think you can, but either way they weren't allowed on. But it was well, it was very slow getting on it today. So somewhere that's been popular for food at Pleasure Beach is nearby to Launchpad and Valhalla, and it's called Loki's, and it has all sorts of different food and offering. So we're going to go and see what they've got on offer this year, because this is actually the first time I think we've seen it open this season.
Opening day was open.
Opening day was open.
But we just didn't have a chance because we were just busy.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to sticking my head in.
Yeah, we'll go and have a look, and if we get any food, we'll let you know. We've come out of Loki's.
Aye.
I think it's a new day because the sun shines out now.
It's out, I need the cap on.
In-gen cap.
Negativity cap.
No, don't put that on. How was it, mate? You ate in there?
Yeah, so I had the half chicken and fries. It was nice. There's a lot of food. You do get a big portion when you go in there. Hot, tasty. It's a shame it's so cold in there though. Like when you sat down, with the wind, you can feel it. It's so it was a little bit chilly. Didn't have the upstairs open today. I think the upstairs it's nice to when that's open, because when you can see across the park as well while you're having your food. Yeah. It's a really nice view. So that's a bit of a shame. But the food itself, delicious.
Yeah, good. So was it good value?
I think so for what you're paying.
What did you pay?
£18. Some of that was 2 drinks as well. So
yeah.
I think it's like £16-ish for the meal and a drink, so it's not that far out, to be fair. Not that far out pricing wise for what you get. Like, yeah, it's a little bit steep, but it is good.
Yeah, cool. I didn't eat in there because there's not a lot on the menu that I'd really want. I'd maybe just get the chips and gravy, so I'm going to eat somewhere else and maybe do a review of that later on. But for now, what ride are we doing?
Launchpad.
Shall we?
Round 2, walk on.
Right, Launchpad it is. He said it, we're doing it. There is literally no queue for it, so why not? So we took the ride on Launchpad, pretty much walk on, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, it was pretty quick, that one.
Yeah, all good. Yeah. And we've come on over to the Grand Prix, or the former Grand Prix side. Steve, what do you think's going on?
New garden area.
New garden area.
New garden, yeah. It's better than looking like rubble and dirt, so I'm glad they're doing something with it. Nothing wrong with having the green space in a park. Like, shame it's not a new ride, but like, it's better than seeing something there rotting away.
Yeah.
So I did say I hope they got rid of it, and they've half done it, so it's half gone. So, but yeah, I think that this will be a nice little open area when it's done. I'm quite sometimes it's nice to have an aerial park, and this is what I liked about Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Where you can go to Tom Sawyer Island and just escape the hustle and the bustle for half an hour, hour, and just get away from it all. I feel like this area will probably be that place in this park, so I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. I still think that they might do something with this space in the future.
Yeah.
But I think for the time being, they've kind of gone, well, we can't just have it looking like a construction site while we're not actually building anything. So I've noticed like you can just about spot it there. They kind of got like a fake green sort of hedge up, which I've seen a lot of parks turn into like an Instagram spot where you'll put your park logo, some lights, and it becomes a bit of a photo spot. But also, it looks like they've sort of marked out where a walkway is going to join this to Bella and Bradley's learning garden at the other side underneath Avalanche. So I think for me it makes sense to just like open up this area while it's not being used for a ride, put some extra seating in, somewhere you can sit and watch the day pass you by. So I don't think it's such a bad thing, but I do hope that in future that they do use the space for a ride. When that will be, I have no idea though.
Yeah, I think it's just like a placeholder.
Yeah.
They've obviously got the project going on at the moment for the gyro.
Yeah.
So that's focus.
And then there's going to be River
Hopefully,
Caves.
then River Caves, and then maybe after that something to here. But you're looking like 5 years down the line before this will probably get anything done to it. I could be wrong. Next year I could be saying, Steve, you were wrong.
Thank you very much. Shout out to the guys that just spoke to us at Big Dipper. Yeah, I hope they put a ride in here, but I think realistically you're talking 4 or 5 years, in my opinion. We could be well wrong. But
yeah, it could be 10.
Yeah.
It could be next year. You never know what.
No.
You never know. They might just bring like some kind of travelling ride in and plonk it there for a year. You don't know.
I've just seen something concerning. Where we're stood, you could just about see Big One through that gap there. Big One's just gone round with a completely empty back carriage. I hope it's not on 4 carriage operation.
Sandbags.
Or is it really that quiet? It might well be. Big Dipper is going to be a no-go for us, unfortunately. It's currently on one train service. Well, I say currently, it has been for a long time. We missed it opening, and now it's got a massive queue. And it's the only ride in the park with a queue.
The queue's not that long. Like when you look at it, it's like it's not a big queue. But because it's on one train, you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Like it's a long ride cycle for the Big Dipper. The trains are very slow on the lift hills, so it takes a long time for it to complete a circuit. So yeah, there's nothing the ride staff can do. They're just, if that's what they have to work with, that's what they have to work with. It's a shame that it's not on 2. Hopefully that'll get solved at some point down the line. I think that, you know, I do like the rides on Big Dipper as of late. I think it has been a really fun coaster to do.
Yeah.
But at the moment you have to get here first. It's temporarily the ride you need to go to first in the morning is this. We went to the big one today because of the wind. Because we really wanted the big one.
Yeah, but even if we had gone to Big Dipper first, we wouldn't have got on it.
No,
it didn't open until, well, it was going to be earlier, but it ended up being 11:30 advertised. I don't know how early it opened in the end, but obviously, or how early, how late it opened, I don't know. Either way, we've missed it today, so we're going to move on to something else now. So we'll let you know what that is when we get to it. Time for us to take a ride on Icon.
Stardust.
No, not Stardust Races. It's on 2 trains, not much of a queue, so pretty much walk on for us. So that's the first time I've done Icon since doing Stardust Races at Epic Universe about three-ish weeks ago. Maybe 4 weeks, can't remember precisely how long ago it was. I actually didn't know if I'd think that Icon was better or not, because out of all the people that I've seen do reviews of Stardust Races, I think I'm one of the very few that didn't think it was world class, like many people are saying. So I did wonder, actually, is Icon better than it? No, it's not. Stardust Races is better than Icon. There's unfortunately no doubt about that. But Icon is still a quality coaster. It's fun. It's got airtime. It's just a great part of the Pleasure Beach now. It has been for the past 7 years. It's a really fun coaster. 2 trains. Staff are chucking the trains out. can't fault it whatsoever. But yeah, I was thinking, is Stardust Racers going to be like worse than Icon, or is it going to be comparable? Obviously, same technology, same type of trains, other than the restraints. Icon's got seatbelts, Stardust Racers hasn't. So yeah, Stardust Racers is better than Icon, but it's not that much better, because I've not got an Icon and been like, oh, that's really bad now I've done Stardust Racers. I don't have a different opinion of Icon. It's just I thought Stardust Racers was going to be worse than Icon, if that makes sense. I don't even know what I'm going on about now. But yeah, Icon is still a quality coaster, but Stardust Racers is just a little bit better. But I'll tell you what is better than them both, Helix, by a long way. How's your day been, Steve?
I've enjoyed it. It's been good. Like, nice to get back here. I think the highlight for me today, definitely the big one.
Yeah.
Absolutely love going on the big one, and it's just what I needed. So
yeah,
really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed that this morning. But it's just always nice to get back to Pleasure Beach and just like have a look at the park. And the launch pad was good as well. Like, I'm glad that's back open.
Yeah.
Because it just brings a bit more atmosphere to this area of the park, and now with Valhalla open as well, it feels a bit more normal now.
Yeah.
With the Nash closed, Valhalla closed, and Launchpad closed, it felt a bit weird.
Yeah.
This area of the park, it was like abandoned, but like it's nice to see, you know, some activity back here. So.
Yeah, definitely. We've done some digging to try and find out when the Grand National is going to open, but we still don't know. But it's going to be this month anyway. So yeah, it's just nice to see that this area has got some life again. Like, we do a little twirl. You've got, oh, Loki's is open like we mentioned before. Obviously you got Launchpad open, and then spin round again. Valhalla's on the go. So yeah, once the Grand National's open as well, this whole area will just have a lot more life back into it. And then we've got the River Caves, which is obviously a bit further away, but still in North Park. So we've no idea when that's going to reopen though, and it's hard to predict, isn't it?
Yeah, like, it depends on where their priorities are.
Yes.
I think that the next big thing is going to be the gyro.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to not see much going on. I'm not really going to kick off because, you know, it takes time to do things. Yeah. And as long as they're slowly working away at it, if they need a couple of years on it, then that's fine by me. We've got something to look forward to for next year.
Yeah. Absolutely.
At least they're being transparent and saying they are doing something in there. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you think back to last year, we had no idea what was going to happen with Ice Blast as it was, or River Caves for that matter. And then you go back to 2022, didn't know when Valhalla was going to open. Well, the fact is it didn't until 2023. So they've been very good with PR and transparency and telling people what's going on. Again, doing that, we're telling people Grand National's coming soon. So yeah, they're doing a great job with stuff like that, and I'm looking forward to the future updates on things like the River Caves. But for now, that's all here from us at Blackpool Pleasure Beach Resort. If you have enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button. It's a little thumbs up below. Please comment, please subscribe. Many thanks for watching. See you next time.